Well, continuing with our analysis that we have undertaken about this interesting subject, take heed that no one deceives you. Today it corresponds to move forward within the assumptions that we have proposed ourselves. It is to highlight that this study that is born from a profound investigation has very well defined purposes that we are interested to expose, debate, consolidate, structurate, and above all to show to those that have decided not to be deceived by anyone. Believe that this study, this investigation that we are doing, allows us to have an enhanced panorama about a number, I will say, of doctrines, theories, teachings, knowledge. Well, you can put the term that you like. Having decided to make an approach of the book of Genesis, we will not dedicate to study all the text, because that will take us an enormous amount of time, but we will gather some passages that will allow us to elaborate, comprehend, and structurate properly what we want to teach. For the one who has studied or has read the book of Genesis, and remembering that we put as a base that this text is composed of an oral tradition, so that allows us, I will say, a better clarity of the surrounding of the things that will develop here, of the series of events that will happen. And the book of Genesis starts in a very interesting way, like an account that begins a story that will be told. I will say pretty interesting, because it begins saying, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." That first impression that the text leaves us warns us that what is about to be told will be the beginnings of history, of humanity, of certain institutions, and many other things. But regretfully, we must know that this text also has the origins of chaos. Obviously, the one that wants to study the darkness, the evil, the deceit, the iniquity, well, has to gather from this text some passages to be able to give the impressionism that he wants in his painting. But that is not the idea in this moment. The idea in this moment is to look how this text was showing the different facets of that oral tradition that Moses was gathering. As we said in chapter 1, verse 1, the text begins very well because it gives the impression that something extraordinary is about to be told to us. That is why it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." As said before, we will not study this text. We'll it will be interesting, because from it a countless of extraordinary things will become detached. Regretfully, it is not the topic. That is why we cannot allow ourselves to be departed from the route that we already have decided to follow. Now then, from the verse 1 to the verse 2 something happened, and say that something happened so much as in the text as well as in the oral tradition that Moses gathered. Verse 2 says the following: "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." For those that want to study the giants, the extraterrestrials, the Nephilim, and many other themes, well, here you have a passage for that, because from the verse 1 to the verse 2, we are already clear that something happened, but Moses could not control it. He only registered it. He left it perhaps so that others could make their investigations, their studies, but he didn't want to delve into what happened between verse 1 and verse 2. But repeat once again, for those that are interested in extraterrestrials, in Nephilim, in giants, well, in ancient civilizations, in a bunch of things, well, there is this second passage. But we are not also going to enter in this subject or in that variety of subjects, even though they are extraordinary and very interesting, but regretfully are not pertaining to what we are studying. After that, everything normalizes once again, like that. Number 1, and after that should have been followed not by number 2, but by number 3. And the scriptures says, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. The verse set back into normality. The storm, the tremor, the earthquake was left behind. Obviously, that is what was left behind for a reason. But it will be a discussion of other theme in a near future, if God allows. But what I want to call your attention in this chapter 1 to some texts that are very interesting and begin when God starts to create the beings, the plants. Says the verse 11 of chapter 1. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. In this point we would like to clarify that we will use the Spanish translation of the Holy Scriptures because in the English language the translator only used the word kind, while in the Spanish translation it says more words. So in the Spanish translation it says, according to their genus, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. The term which I want you to please pay attention in this verse 11 of chapter 1 is that expression, according to their genus. Says verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. According to their genus, Spanish translation. And it repeats once again, according to their genus. And later says the verse 13, and the evening and the morning were the third day. Later, as you can notice, this expression is very important because it repeats itself, and look how interesting it is. Says the text in the verse 20, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, after their kind, according to their genus, Spanish translation. And every winged fowl after his kind, according to their species, Spanish translation. So, you can see, according to their genus, according to their species. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, according to their genus, Spanish translation. Cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth after his kind, according to their species, Spanish translation. And it was so, and God made the beast of the earth after his kind, according to their genus, Spanish translation. And cattle after their kind, according to their genus, Spanish translation. And everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, according to their genus, according to their species, Spanish translation. And God saw it was good. I want you to please comprehend that the creation, at least this creation, even though it is talk about other creations before this one, but we will not either enter into this theme. This creation was clearly defined the same as in the trees, in the plants, in the animals, and in the birds, according to their genus, according to their species. You may say, why is this important? Well, because that is one of the clues that we need to understand why we do not have to let anyone to deceive us. Hope that you comprehend until this moment the importance of the expression according to their genus, according to their species. That is very important. And the animals were created under that policy of the kingdom, according to their genus, according to their species. And that is the policy of the kingdom. In other words, God in his magnificency, in his extraordinariness, in his power, in his greatness, defined the same as to the vegetable world as to the animal world, according to their genus, according to their species. We always invite you to write to our email, the last church 7 in number, okay, gmail.com. Also, you can visit our webpage, churchofgod.tk. You can visit us in Facebook and Instagram, and we hope that what we are pretending to do allows us to comprehend some truths. It won't be simple, it won't be easy, but that's what we have to do. And we hope you send your questions, your concerns, your doubts, and we will gladly try to answer them. Beforehand, we invite you once more to write to our email, churchofgod.tk, or to visit our webpage. Thank you very much.